Fans around the world are in awe, because forever has officially begun for Dylan Wang and Shen Yue. Their first kiss as a married couple has been captured, and the entire internet can't stop talking about it. What was once only a dream for fans who fell in love with them through Meteor Garden has now become a reality, and the way it unfolded was nothing short of magical. The moment came during what seemed to be a quiet, private ceremony. It wasn't filled with flashing cameras or a massive stage. Instead, it was intimate, heartfelt, and deeply personal, exactly what you would expect from two people who have always valued sincerity over spectacle. The footage begins with a soft glow of candles illuminating a beautifully decorated garden. Fairy lights twinkled overhead, draped between trees, casting a golden warmth over the night. A gentle breeze made the flowers lining the pathway sway softly, almost as if nature itself was celebrating with them. The sound of a live string quartet filled the air, playing a soft melody that seemed to melt into the background. And there they were. Dylan Wang, tall, striking, and elegant in a classic black tuxedo. He looked nervous but joyful, his hands tightening and loosening as he glanced at the woman beside him. Shen Yue, radiant as ever, stood in an ivory gown that seemed designed just for her, simple yet breathtaking, with delicate lace that shimmered faintly under the lights. Her bouquet of pale roses and baby's breath rested gently in her hands, but it was her face that captured everyone's heart. Her smile was soft, her eyes glistening with tears that threatened to fall at any second. The officiant's voice carried across the space, calm and steady. He asked them the question fans have been waiting years to hear. "Do you, Dylan Wang, take Shen Yue to be your wife?" Dylan's lips curled into the faintest smile, and his voice, though quiet, held no hesitation. "I do." The words felt heavy, important, final, and yet also like the beginning of everything. Then came the moment for Shen Yue. "Do you, Shen Yue, take Dylan Wang to be your husband?" She let out a small breath, as if holding back the weight of the moment, and whispered, "I do." Her voice cracked ever so slightly, betraying the emotions flooding her heart. And then came the line every fan has been waiting for. The officiant smiled warmly and said, "You may now kiss the bride." Dylan didn't move right away. For a brief second, he looked at her, as if he wanted to memorize everything. Her smile, her eyes, the way her hair framed her face under the golden glow of the lights. Then he stepped closer, gently lifting her veil. His hand rose to her cheek, thumb brushing against her skin as though reassuring her. And then, slowly, he leaned in and kissed her. It wasn't staged. It wasn't for the cameras. It was real, pure, tender, and filled with love. Their first kiss as husband and wife wasn't dramatic or overly long, but it carried every unspoken word, every promise, every moment that had led them here. It was the kind of kiss that makes time stop, the kind of kiss that makes people believe in love again. When they pulled away, Shen Yue's eyes were wet with tears. Dylan smiled softly, pressing his forehead against hers for just a moment before kissing her once more, this time quicker, almost playful, like he couldn't believe this was real. The guests around them erupted into applause, laughter, and even a few tears of their own. But for Dylan and Shen Yue, the world seemed to disappear. In that moment, it was only the two of them. The clip of this kiss spread across the internet faster than anyone could have imagined. Within hours, hashtags like #ForeverBeginsHere, #DylanWang-Shen-Yue-Wedding, and #FirstMarriedKiss were trending in China, the Philippines, Indonesia, and beyond. Fans replayed the footage again and again, analyzing every detail. The way Dylan's hand lingered on her cheek, the way Shen Yue smiled against his lips, the way they seemed to laugh softly after pulling away. One fan wrote online, "That kiss wasn't acting. That was love in its purest form." Another posted, "This feels like the ending we all wanted but never got. Now it's real." And truly, for many, it did feel like the conclusion of a story that began years ago. Back in 2018, when Dylan and Shen Yue lit up screens as Dao Ming-Si and Shan Kai, fans were struck by their chemistry. Every look, every laugh, every argument felt so real that rumors began to spread almost instantly. But both remained quiet, neither confirming nor denying anything. As years passed, people wondered if the magic they saw on screen would stay in dramas forever. Now, with this kiss, fans feel they have their answer. The setting itself also tells a story. Unlike many celebrity weddings that take place in lavish hotels or sprawling banquet halls, Dylan and Shen Yue chose something different. Their venue was private, almost hidden, with nature as the backdrop. It wasn't about grandeur. It was about meaning. Every flower, every candle, every note of music seemed chosen not for show, but for love. Some insiders have hinted that both families were present, seated close by and beaming with pride. A few close friends from the industry are also rumored to have attended, though no names have been confirmed. What is clear is that everyone there respected the intimacy of the event. No loud outbursts, no leaks of photos or videos, just one quiet clip that somehow slipped into the world. The internet's reaction has been overwhelmingly positive. In the Philippines, fans organized online celebrations, creating edits of the kiss with music overlays and heartfelt captions. In Indonesia, fans held live-stream watch parties, replaying the footage together and sharing tears of joy. Chinese social media was flooded with fan art, poems, and even letters addressed to the couple, thanking them for giving the world a love story worth believing in. Some fans even began calling this wedding the real ending of Meteor Garden, as though the drama's love story had finally been fulfilled in reality. Others pointed out how rare it is for celebrities to keep such a huge milestone so private. It was, in many ways, a reflection of who Dylan and Shen Yue truly are, two people who may be stars to the world, but who, at their core, are just a man and woman who chose love over fame. The kiss itself has already been broken down frame by fans. Some noticed the way Dylan whispered something to Shen Yue right before leaning in, though the music drowned it out. Others pointed out how her hands trembled slightly as she held her bouquet, a sign of the overwhelming emotion she felt. Many simply said that the way they kissed, slow, gentle, lingering, proved that this wasn't about performance. It was about forever. And that is why the world can't stop talking about it. This wasn't just a kiss. It was a promise. A promise that everything they've shared, every challenge they've faced, every rumor they've endured, has led them to this moment. A promise that from now on, they will face the world not as co-stars, not as friends, but as husband and wife. Of course, questions remain. Will they release official wedding photos? Will they share more about their love story in interviews? Or will they continue to keep things private, letting only this one glimpse slip into the public eye? Knowing them, it may be the latter. And perhaps that's what makes it even more special. Because in an industry where so much is staged, scripted, and polished, this kiss wasn't any of those things. It was raw. It was human.